Today we're going to talk about what are the best PvP unit currently in this meta for Warcraft Rumble. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tackle Gaming for some Warcraft Rumble content. As you may know, Season 1 in PvP is currently live, and every 2 weeks the towers and some of the affixes and stuff going on changes. In this current meta, we have 8 days left of this Dragon Tower. Dragon Tower does elemental damage in a cone, which means it obliterates most packs of monsters as well as most melee unit and tanks, being that elemental damage does more damage to armored target, as well as the closer you are to the tower, the more damage it does to you. So it is a very hard tower to deal with if you don't have the right minis, but currently, there are some minis that are just so good they can solo this tower by themselves, and we're going to go over why they're so OP. The first mini I want to talk about is the Huntress. For obvious reasons, she is one of the strongest mini in the game currently. She has a high cost of 5, but other than her high cost, everything she has is completely OP. First, Shadow Meld, her best talent by far in my opinion, give stealth and ambush. Ambush means you do double damage once you come out of stealth, and stealth means nobody can target you really until you attack them first. So this is incredibly OP, better than the other talents that she has by quite a lot in my opinion, and it makes her able to solo almost every flying unit, most of the high damage units in this game, and even some tanks, as well as any packs of unit, or if you summon too many minis all grouped together, she will cleave them all and destroy all your army. She is incredibly powerful in that way. The one thing that makes her especially RP right now is the fact that she has resistant, takes 50% less elemental damage. She can almost solo towers if you put like a little healer behind her of any kind, or someone to tank while she attacks. She will kill your tower very quickly. She takes less damage from them and does incredible damage. So it is not hard to know why she is currently part of the best S+ tier unit in the game for PvP. Next, we have my personal favorite, the Darkspear Troll. Darkspear Troll is one of the highest damage single target range minion in the game, and he is not only OP because of his damage, but because he has Big Bad Voodoo as one of his talents. Big Bad Voodoo heals him by 20% of his total HP every second, meaning that if you don't do enough damage to kill him quickly, he will just heal and kill you. He can almost solo a tower by himself. Actually, no, he can solo a tower by himself if nobody's attacking him, and he can solo almost every single unit in this game by himself because he out heals them. There's a few exceptions like the Abomination, for example, but he is incredibly powerful with Big Bad Voodoo. There is nothing that can really deal with him easily other than dropping spells and like safe pallet on him directly. So for that reason, he is incredible. In PvP currently, if you put him on like the side lane and he attacks the tower without being dealt with, he will kill the tower on his own just by auto healing. It is insane. And the fact that his cost is only 3 makes it even more powerful. Next, we have the Defias Bandits. Now, these guys are incredibly powerful. I, in my opinion, think these could be one of the best S+ tier units for the game currently for PvP, bar none. Cost of 1, meaning it's very, very easy to play and cycle through them. Very, very powerful. They start stealthed, and the first attack they do stuns the enemy for a few seconds. Now, this works on tanks, this works on any long-range damage dealer, anything that's not air, they will stun and attack. Now, their damage is not very high, but if you put any ranged unit or damage dealer with them, they will stun long enough for your unit to kill them easily. You can kill some of the strongest heroes and tanks while they're stunned with a simple DPS dealer like a Headhunter, just because the Defias have stunned it and have taken control of the field. They also have one of the talent called Picklock, which gives them an extra 2 gold when opening chests. Currently in PvP, the middle lane has 2 chests, and most maps have a lot of chests in general, so these guys are optimal for controlling chests. Not only do they give you more gold, every time you get them you get 4 gold total, which is incredible for a unit that costs 1 and goes quite quickly to the chest, but also they are just really good as tanks, as supports. They will just stun lock any unit and use basically their own body as tankiness while your other minis do all the work. And for the cost of 1, it really doesn't matter if they die. So it really just isn't enough good that I can say about these guys. Now, in their talents, Deadly Poison makes them tank killers. They will come out of stealth, stun and apply poison over and over, which will basically melt almost every tank in the game. It is incredible how much value they can bring. And Last Resort makes it so that when they die, they also stun the target for 3 seconds. So they'll open up, stun the target, die, stun the target. You will basically have free reign for up to 6 seconds on sometimes even more than one target because of the fact that there's 2 of them. It is really, really hard to replace this card in any deck I'm playing right now. I really just love them so much. They have so much utility. They can be defensive and stun enemies that are attacking your tower. There really is just so much you can do with them. If you haven't used them yet, try them out. You will not regret it. In 4th position, one of my favorite unit, the Safe Palette. Obviously has been used and has been meta for a long time. One of the best unit minis in the game. She is an incredibly powerful spell at the same time as being a very powerful unit. Now, when she drops on the ground, as you saw, it does incredible damage and really kills most of the minis that have a high damage or low HP. But on top of that, if you get the Gnomish Cloaking Device as a talent for her, which is in my opinion her best talent by far, it will make it so that you also have a mini that goes around stealth and attacks with a huge AoE damage attack as her first attack. It is incredibly powerful how much damage she does, and the fact that she's stealth and has ambush means her first attack is even more boosted. Now, something you can do with her that is especially strong in PvP right now is drop her in the corner of the towers. And because she's stealth, she will basically get a full free attack on the tower. And then because she's so high range, she will take quite a long time to get killed by those towers. Now, if you drop another mini that's unbound, like a tank or another damage dealer, or if you have anything coming towards the tower and you drop her in the back, while your other unit is taking all the damage, she will be doing an incredibly high amount of damage to the tower. You can drop her and another unbound at once for the cost of like 5 or 6 and basically take a tower half HP if the enemy doesn't have anything to answer it right away. So really, really powerful unit. And the fact that she can be used as a spell and then that it summons a mini in your lane, the mini can also dominate the lane against a lot of flying and low HP monsters. So really hard to beat this unit in any deck. Last but not least, the Quilboar, one of the most popular units currently in the game. An unbound tank that costs 2. You can summon anywhere on the battlefield. Goes very well with the Safe Palette that I just mentioned as well. You really want this unit in your deck. Now, the especially good thing right now is that he is a resistant unit, which means he takes less damage from the Dragon Tower and is going to be incredibly powerful to capture chests, have lane presence, deny miners, or just tank a tower when you have a strong monster coming towards a tower that is, let's say, weak to the elemental damage. You summon the Quilboar right behind the tower. Basically just kind of like it's showing you here. Instead of in front, you would show it in the back. And it would be just so incredible how much utility this unit can have. And he is quite tanky for the cost of 2. Really, there is nothing wrong you can do with this guy. No deck goes without him. If you have him, it is hard not to put him in your deck. He is one of those units that's just too good to be true. Now, in the talents, I prefer Tunnel Vision because he takes a very long time to summon without it, and he will basically take a lot of damage while he isn't doing anything and he's just appearing out of the ground if you don't have Tunnel Vision. But his other talents are not bad either. It just depends in the way you want to play him. I prefer the map presence that he offers to the other talents. Honorable mention also during this meta, the Fire Elemental, one of the only other monsters who has resistant is a tank. So it's a resistant tank, which means he can tank the elemental tower much better than almost any other tanks currently in the game. Now, speaking of resistant, the General Drak, one of the most tanky hero currently. Not only does he do immense amount of damage and is incredibly tanky, but he also offers resistant to himself. And one of his very unique ability here, or his talent, would be Chromatic Scales. He would give resistance to all nearby allies. Now, he's an incredible mini on his own, and then giving resistance to everything around him against Dragon Tower that does elemental damage, and a current meta who have a lot of units like Whelps, Drake, or even like the Pyromancer. They all do elemental damage, so a hero like him does offer a ton of value to survive and resist and change the battle. For example, a Darkspear Troll beside General Drak with resistance will not get one-shotted by all the things that currently one-shot him, and with his regeneration will heal up and kill pretty much everything that usually counters him. So this is where you can have insane value currently in this meta. So if you haven't tried them out, I would recommend you do so. Of course, there are other heroes that are currently very good. You know, someone like Sneed, someone like Rand. Rand also has Scale and Steel, which gives resistance to his flying mouth, and he is a very tanky guy himself. They still get killed by the tower quite easily, but their effect and their decks, the way they work, doesn't really matter because you can send these heroes up to do different roles and have other units that will focus on the towers, as we've just talked about. So it is really just what the meta is about right now. Tyrion is still amazing, especially with his Divine Shield. He will be able to tank towers because he will just not die for 5 seconds, and you will have your other units doing incredible amount of work, so like the Huntress, for example. So every hero really works well right now, without, you know, the exception of the general, who is especially OP currently because of the Dragon Tower. But really, the units are what makes the deck. The heroes just kind of like work with them depending on which units you have with talents and which units you have leveled up. It doesn't really matter. Everything works quite well in PvP if you can build around it. But Tyrion, Rand, Drak, Sneed, and Baron Riven there, who is also very, very strong currently in the meta and very overplayed. Now, the difference between Baron before, who was really OP, now because of his skeletons, they're so weak, they die to the new towers super easily. But if you have the talent, that Shield of the Grave that summons mages instead, he is just as powerful as he ever was. Make sure to let me know in the comment what is currently your favorite unit in this meta and what you think is the most OP unit in PvP, as well as make sure to stay tuned on Tackle Gaming, as we're going to show a lot of guides, tutorials, and tier lists and meta units, builds, decks, all that kind of stuff on the channel in the coming weeks. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.